Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D campaign number 1, Under Locks and Keys. After a short break, we are back, and let's dive back into On the Railroad, Chapter 6. When we last left off, the party aboard the Tietian Express managed to clear the surprise blizzard that had delayed their journey. While it had slowed them down, they continued to make ample progress, much to the relative comfort of the passengers who were not willing to accept a unforeseen delay. But all is not well on the Express. It seems at some point during the delay, a tar slime from the Underdark managed to somehow smuggle its way aboard the vessel and begin stealing food and abducting passengers, including the Don himself, who, under the noses of his bodyguard and daughter, vanished beneath the train, seemingly either eaten or abducted by the aggressive ooze. Searching the train, the party found no sign of any of those who were taken, but on reaching the main engine of the locomotive, found that the door was locked and there was nobody inside. Nobody, with the exception of the tar slime that had broken loose, seemingly absconded with the conductor and crew, and made itself a nest of the train's boiler. The party scrapped with the massive ooze, overgrown on its massive diet and smelling ever of gunpowder. But after a few close calls, a unfortunately placed spell detonated the boiler and caused it to erupt. And the last thing all of you remember is a harsh ringing in your ears and your vision going white. And that is where we will pick back up.
From memory, I think of Raven automatically failed.
Yeah, you took an automatic failure to give you all an automatic success.
Just hoping that mattered. Sure will matter to some extent.
Yeah, less damage.
Alfred, your head pounds, your chest heaves. You feel a stinging pain up your front, as if it's been burned. As you open your eyes, you find yourself looking up at the afternoon sky. Your head is spinning. It feels as though you're still moving, even though you know the train could not possibly still be moving after that. And sure enough, as your feeling gradually returns to you, there's relative silence, but as you look around, you realize you're flat on your back on the ground outside. The ground beneath your hands and feet is moist from the melted snow, a bit muddy in places. Looking down at yourself, you realize there's burns running up the front of your suit, splatters of black from the slime, and a piece of shrapnel embedded in your rib.
Raptor shrapnel.
Yeah, sorry, because I was thinking of rib and shrapnel, and they both have an R, so I got tongue-tied.
Dang rhotic languages.
As you slowly hoist yourself up, you realize that the front of you has been burned, and the back of you has been coated in the mud of the ground. Your suit is ruined.
Mm.
Looking to your left, you see your ranger, who is gradually coming to consciousness himself. Avaben, you're experiencing much of the same. However, unlike your paladin, you did not have the physical fortitude to take a hit like that, and instead dedicated yourself to protecting someone who could take it even less. Alfred, as you survey Aben's state, at Aben, you slowly come to consciousness. You both come to a few realizations. Aben, you have managed to avoid the mud. However, running up your back is vicious-looking steam burns. And beneath you, protecting you from the muddy ground, is you all. However, Aben, as you try to hoist yourself up to look down at him, you realize you can't comfortably move. This horrible pain keeps shooting through you when you try. And Alfred, as you look down at the dark elf, you realize a piece of rubble from the boiler has impaled through Aben's side, and him and you all are basically kebabbed together on the ground. However, Aben, taking the brunt of it, seems to have spared you all from getting directly impaled all the way through. Like a spear to a boar, despite being all the way impaled, Aben is shockingly conscious. And both of your ears are ringing and your heads are spinning. But you're alive.
Is you all unconscious?
Aben, as you hold a hand over his mouth, he's definitely unconscious. But after a tense few moments, you feel a warm breath against the cold air. He is alive, but barely. Looking around,
I have something for this.
Looking around, you realize the bulk of the train cars were spared, but the train has come to a complete halt. Alfred, and you can see about 20 feet ahead of you, the engine seemingly continued a little bit after the blast before finally just careening to a halt.
I'm
And
shocked that the whole thing isn't derailed at this point.
I actually watched a real boiler explosion to model this off of. And Alfred, you see where once was the locomotive of the Tietian Express is now a warped mess of metal and wires, barely recognizable for what it once was, as if some octopodal creature of metal crawled out of the ground and took its place. The apocalypse ooze is nowhere to be seen.
I'd imagine it's fucking everywhere.
But it's
Indeed,
right
there
there.
Indeed, Aben, you can see that there are spatters of black in the muddy ground, but you see no sign of the actual creature itself.
So, how much? What impaled them? Just a piece of metal?
Basically a piece of metal shot off of the boiler when it exploded. It would have basically just full on speared you all, but you got in the way and took the brunt of it.
So it's only like it cut into him a little bit.
Yeah, basically, yeah, you took the whole thing, but then because that slowed it down, he only got about halfway. You basically prevented it from hitting a vital, which absolutely would have killed him.
Alright. I guess since I do have abilities, I actually do have abilities to deal with situations like this.
Yeah, Rangers, baby.
I was gonna say if Aben's, he can't like, can he try to like? I know he can't stand up, but can he try to like remove it?
Yes, and Alfred, are you willing to help him?
Oh yeah, and I'm willing to use whatever means of magic I can do, but I'm willing to help.
Aben, make a medicine check with advantage to try and pull yourself free.
Advantage. Let me grab 2 dice then.
Yeah.
And if I roll 2 dice at the same time, how do I tell you what order they were in?
I'll say just give me both results, and I'll use the higher one for what actually happens, but I can take the lower one into account.
Okay. Medicine.
Yes, because you're trying to pull yourself free without, gutting yourself, or you all for that matter.
I don't see medicine. Oh, there it is. Uh, the highest roll would be a 14. The lower roll would be a 9.
You can see, even unconscious, you all gives a visible grimace of pain as Avaben, you try to pull either the rubble out of him or yourself off of it at least. But with it warped around you, it's difficult for you to do that yourself, especially since you can't see what you're doing. Luckily, you feel Alfred's gloved hands on you as the two of you work to pry yourself free. And
And as
eventually,
soon as it's free, Avaben's going to use Cure Wounds on you all at the highest level he can.
all right, go ahead and roll to see how much he recovers. In the meantime, I'll continue flavoring.
I don't know how much health he has, to be honest. This could just be overkill, but
Quite likely, but let's see. In the meantime, Alfred, you help Avaben get free, and you do wince a bit as you see that it's not a completely clean removal. You all's wound grows as you're forced to yank the rubble upwards to give Avaben the momentum he needs to pull
let's see,
himself off of
6
it.
plus 7 is 13 plus 2, 15.
The moment Avaben is free, he more pulls himself off of the rebar than you help him, and immediately falls back onto you all, hands gleaming as he pumps healing magic into him.
Also, how much damage did I take?
You took 40 blood, 40 force.
Yeah.
And do I take any damage from the removal?
No, but I'm basically noting that it was kind of a messy removal.
Okay.
Basically, that might come up later, but it's not actually affecting you mechanically yet. Sorry. You find yourself in much the same position as your comrades, although when you awaken, you don't immediately see them. You have Greylog at your side. The two of you launched away from the others. You're surrounded by rubble, pieces of the boiler, and noticeably more solid chunks of the train's machinery. You can see 20 feet ahead of you, the engine halted, and on your side, you're able to see the pieces of the machinery just shooting off into the air as the boiler fumes escaped, and what's left of the cargo spilling into the mud below.
Can I move?
Yes, similar to the others, your head is spinning and your ears are ringing, but you are conscious and alive, although you do notice quite a few abrasions and burns lining your scales. That was nasty, what just happened to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just gonna sit up and I'm going to use. Can I use my cold breath to like soothe the burns?
Sure. As you wince a bit at the freezing air on your abrasions, you begin to blow cold air against your burned scales, wincing a bit as they begin to blister, but at the very least, the immediate infections are no longer a concern.
I'm just gonna sit there and stare at the train wreck.
All right. As you and Greylog slowly stand and come to your senses, Greylog has a bit of a strange expression, somewhat strained and startled, but otherwise looks around in confusion at the wreckage. You see his attention is grabbed by another figure nearby. Bleeding and impaled by rubble, you see the detective. He's alive and conscious, but bleeding badly and wincing as he pulls shards of metal out of his torso and begins to bandage himself with shockingly efficient made tourniquets.
Sorry, doesn't look surprised. I'll see if he's okay, though.
He gives a bit of a grimace as you approach, and wincing a bit as he ties a tourniquet around his ribs after pulling a piece of metal free. He looks to you with a shockingly calm expression and so tell me, was that intentional?
No, of course not.
Shame. That's something I would have done.
She kind of looks surprised, really.
He gives a bit of a smirk and shakily pulls himself to his feet.
I'll help him up if he lets me.
He initially kind of bats your arm away, but after a moment relents and allows you to hoist him to his feet. Luckily, it doesn't seem to have impacted the rest of the passengers. Fundamentally, we know that the crew is safe. As for the rest of my bodyguards... And he looks around, and it's at this point you notice the distinct lack of a butler and dark elf in your presence.
So you don't get your morning tea, don't cry about it.
He gives a bit of a smirk and starts to limp towards the engine. Speaking of, I suppose we should get to searching. After that, and he looks up at the afternoon sun. I think the passengers all just got information that they'll be walking the rest of the way. I don't think even I can get this thing moving again. Not by myself, at least.
You need a fucking factory to get this thing moving again.
And I'm sure my parents will not be pleased that they'll probably want money or something.
What they don't know won't hurt them.
No, I mean the people who own the train.
Like I said, what they don't know won't hurt them.
What? Blame it on the monster, not.
Yeah, he gives a bit of a shrug. It's a shame. We all saw it. The tar slime feeding on the boiler caused a reaction, completely unprecedented, but fundamentally it should have been obvious.
She kind of gives a weak smile.
Alfred and Avabin, as the ringing in your ears slowly subsides, you're able to hear on the other side of the engine the voices of your companions. And Avabin, as you pump healing magic upon healing magic into your lover, he gives a gasp and coughs up blood into the snow and shakily starts to pull himself up before a hand flies to where his wound had been, but he pulls away in confusion as he sees the wound is completely gone, not even a scar left in its place. Considering you healed him for over twice his health.
Very
What
weak
happened?
boy.
Explosion. And as he's saying that, Avaven will now repeat the process on himself. He will cast Cure Wounds as high as he can on himself.
Alright, roll for heals. Sorry, as the ringing in your ears begins to subside, You can see the detective's head perk up as you're able to hear the mumbled voices of Avaben and you all on
1
the other
plus
side of the
2 is
locomotive.
3, plus 3 is 6. 8. I heal for 8.
All right. Avaben, you place a hand to your wound and pump it with healing magic. The wound itself remains, but the bleeding at least stops. And you no longer feel the agony of impalement, although you do still have an ache of your body reminding you that an open wound you still have. Bodyguards! Status!
I'm gonna look around for any status.
Alfred, as it stands, you all is healed. Avaben is patching himself up, but clearly conscious. You heard Asari's voice, and from the lack of panic in the detective, you assume Greylog is also well.
Seems everything good on our end. Seems like everything's good on your end as well, so.
Fundamentally so. At this point, all of you are alerted by the sound of the train doors opening and the panicked voices of the passengers as people begin to disembark the train, wondering, why they heard an explosion and then the train suddenly ground to a shrieking halt.
There was an explosion.
The moment your voice rings out into the cold air, the voices begin to mumble and panic amongst themselves. People wondering where they're going to go now, what caused the explosion.
I'll look to the detective. If he can help. 'Cause I don't know if they'll take it from me.
He gives a smirk and grabs your arm and pulls you to the other side of the train with your companions, coming to a stop before Vaben and you all. And as the passengers begin to crowd, not coming much closer to the engine, but staying around where the coal cart is, as he raises a hand to get everyone's attention and speaks. There's no need to panic. All is well. No one there are wounded or being treated. He places a hand to his bandages. A slime had gotten on the train at the last station. We found it feeding on the boiler. When we discovered it, it panicked and created a rupture. But all is well. We will need to proceed down the rest of the journey on foot. At this point, the panic begins to turn to complaining, but the detective remains resolute.
There was somebody like, I didn't bring my walking shoes.
No, very much so, yes.
Especially not my long walk shoes.
As the detective begins to field complaints from everyone, is there anything anyone else would like to do while the detective calms the crowd?
Well, seems as though the boy toy is all safe, so I don't have to worry about him.
Greylock,
Yeah,
look
Vaven's
little. Sorry.
I was
I'm
gonna say, Vaven was gonna say to you all, I hope you know what this means.
That you're never gonna let me live this down?
Well, that and you're going home.
He just closes his eyes and lays back in the mud. His expression is hard, but he just simply doesn't seem to have the energy to argue with you right now.
Because all he come out to see what the noise was about?
Yes, she is among the crowd, although unlike the others, she's a bit braver and steps forward to look over the two of you. Bloody hell. What happened?
Long story.
Explosions, fights.
Anna steps forward as well and looks over everyone, grimacing at the visible injuries, but seeming relieved at the lack of fatalities. Gods. So much for quiet. And relaxing, I guess. Did you, She hesitates, realizing that the crowd may be able to hear her, and lowers her voice a bit. Did you find who we were looking for?
I hope he wasn't in that slime.
She looks at the bits of black scattered around. I think we would have noticed if it was the case. Seems like this made just as much of a mess of that thing as it did of the train.
Yes, I hope it's taken care of.
Well, looks like we're walking.
Vaven's gonna try one more time to see if he can get that wound to close.
Roll for your heals again.
Use all your spell slots.
I honestly don't use my 3rd level spells a lot because I only have one true 3rd level spell, which
Fair
is
enough.
Dispel Magic.
I was gonna say to
16 this time.
All right. And sorry.
I was just gonna say to Paul that Grelog needed some healing too.
All right.
Yes, of course.
All right.
Paul's probably got better healing abilities anyway.
Well, yes. And he's also vastly better off because
Yeah, you and the slime were the only ones who succeeded the save.
well, not only that, I took no damage from it.
Oh, does he
Alright.
have a thing where he takes no damage if he succeeds?
Yeah, my shield ability where Shield Master, if it's a deck saving throw, I essentially like the rogue feat, but with shield.
Paladins, baby.
Oh, that's not even a paladin, that's a feat.
Oh, well, still cool. All right. Much like everyone else, he took 40. How much do you want to heal him for? I'll put it on his character sheet for you.
But you said 44.
No, just 40.
I took off 44.
Well,
Oh, well,
I
go ahead.
could add
You
4.
give yourself the 4 back.
Yeah. But use my spell slots more. So I will pump. Oh, I will pump. Let's see. Let's do 20.
Okay. All of you take a moment to lick your wounds as you take a
Well,
moment. What's that?
I'm barely above half now.
Yeah. Avaben, as you continue to pump yourself full of healing magic, the wound is still present, but it is beginning to shrink at this point, and the pain is beginning to subside. Although, you know that you're definitely going to need to rest on your laurels for a hot minute at some point. You can't keep this up forever. And Ollie seems to recognize that as well, her brow furrowing a bit as she looks over her shoulder at the crowd before looking back to all of you. Well, what are we going to do?
Well, we're gonna have to walk as the Vaven tries to get up to see how he's feeling.
As mentioned, you can move comfortably, although it's not an easy process, and you're careful not to let too much filth decorate your wound.
Babe, it's gotta look to Ollie. Like, do you have any of our field remedies on hand by any chance?
Only if you're putting that in quotes. She gives a bit of a smile, although you notice it's a bit more strained than her usual fare, and she helps Ollie up with an arm under
Wait,
him.
I think you
Or,
got the name.
I'm sorry, you all. I mean,
There you go.
no, got it back. They both have an O sound, so I got mixed up. Sorry. And as she helps him up, he finally opens his eyes. And wait, what about the missing people?
Well, you may have to wait, but the question is, where do we walk?
Well, this train was going somewhere.
Well, but would it be faster to go back?
Absolutely not. We're already all the way out here. The next station, well, if we head that way, and she points in the direction the train had been going, it's going to take a while, but Adin's down the way. We can still get what we came for. But I don't know how we're going to do that without him.
Well, we still have the contacts, but I just worry. I'm just worried about the passengers.
Right.
What time of day is it?
It's about mid-afternoon. You guys got up in the morning and then realized the missing people situation, investigated, and then boom.
They might
Jeff-
need time to make a plan about what to do.
Anna and Ollie both give a nod, and you all gives a bit of a
We're
hiss.
If we're gonna spend some time, we need to get some fires built. None of these fancy people are gonna know how to survive.
They're gonna need us to babysit them. I don't feel right leaving them out here. Especially not with the
Yeah.
weather being like it is.
I don't think that would be a very good thing.
Alright.
Does the train function at all still?
At this, everyone seems kind of lost.
I mean, like, did the train have like temperature
Power.
control and stuff like that?
It did, but those were not sourced by the engine itself. So it's certainly possible. The inside of the train should still be functional, albeit not going anywhere.
Oh, if we're gonna have to spend some time here figuring things out, it'd probably be best for everyone to just get back on, to just use the train as shelter, rather than being exposed to the elements.
Right.
Even for someone like me and Ollie, who's outside all the time, it'd be hard. For these people who are used to comfort all the time, it'd be dead in hours.
Anna looks up at the sky and her brow furrows as the weather is still not exactly pleasant and gives a nod of agreement. Right. But we're gonna have to move at some point. Would you guys be willing to watch over the train? Make sure nothing else happens.
Might as well. We'll spend probably this night figuring things out.
She gives a sigh.
Maybe we should find a detective to tell him to tell them. He needs to know how to talk to these people.
Anna and I will take care of it. I'll get you all back to the cabin and we'll wait for you there. You guys clean yourselves up. She winces a bit at everyone's wounds, and you're not looking good. As Ollie hoists up you all to basically bridle carry him, and Anna, with her arms crossed and looking uncomfortable, They turn and approach Detective Custard Bath and quietly inform him of the updates on the situation.
Ivan really does not have a lot of stuff.
I mean, like spells?
No, I mean stuff.
Oh yeah, we haven't really bought stuff, got stuff that much. The main thing we did was the arena. That was a lot of armor and weapons. I haven't like crazy magic items yet.
Yeah, no, I'm not even talking like magic items. I'm talking like I don't even have any fucking rope.
Oh, that.
Probably just got used up over the campaign. Avaben, as you begin to realize the lack of supplies.
So the wound isn't bleeding anymore. So
Yeah, the wound has stopped bleeding and is beginning to close. You basically just need, you'll need to rest at some point, obviously. But as far as you can tell, as long as nothing aggravates it, you don't seem like you're at immediate risk of anything like infection. Is there anything anyone would like to do as the detective gets the updates and informs the distraught passengers of the situation? As it stands, you are out in the Yavik countryside, far from any civilization. The train is destroyed and cannot be repaired by anyone here, at least not in any reasonable amount of time.
you could probably have an train engineer here. You could probably have the guy designed this fucking train and he still couldn't fix it.
Yeah. So, while they will have shelter for the night, the only way they're getting back to civilization is on foot. And all of you are their only line of defense against a freezing world of dangerous predators like the creature you just fought.
Well, so y'all probably note that Avaven will, I guess maybe some of the water he normally would have drank in the day, he's going to use to try to keep washing the wound if it gets dirty.
Of course, noted.
So he'll be drinking, less of his daily water use will be for drinking.
Yeah, like absolutely, totally fine. For fun, make me a medicine check.
See, where's the new one? I'm gonna keep using that one for a bit to see how it's doing. Medicine check. Natural 20.
Avaben, gritting your teeth against the pain you know is coming, you use some of the water in your water skin and begin to clean your wounds. It's painful, but it's necessary. And thankfully, because you're using warmth instead of cold, your burns do not blister. They simply are soothed.
Was the water warm in the water skin?
It's basically just like room temperature.
Oh, okay.
Learn that one from experience, boys and girls. Don't put cold things on burns.
I guess use room temperature.
Yes.
Because hot will make it hurt more.
yeah. Put hot water on a burn.
Yeah, I get them often. I usually just try to ignore them, like, pain.
As you all lick your wounds, or in Avaben's case, wash them, you get a moment to catch your breath.
Avaven jokes. Now I'm gonna have back pain later in life.
That's me now.
Given technically for elves, does that later in life ever actually come?
I mean, later in life. Technically, later in life is a second from now. It's later.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't specify it doesn't specify a time. It's not like, oh, late. Unless you're saying like late. You're like
I do think
old
elves
age.
do get old eventually, right?
Yeah, it's just based on temperament rather than time. As you all begin to slowly calm from the intense situation, you take a moment to observe your surroundings and consider what you're going to do next.
Well, a top priority should be protecting people, ensure they're good, get them to safety. Just, you all know how long it would take to walk back or walk to our destination.
Thinking that maybe Ivaben might know. He's, all directional and whatever. I'm just an archaeologist.
Mm.
There is a silence.
Was she actually asking him something?
Yeah, well, more just like directing Alfred's point to Avaben.
It sounded like she was talking about like Avaven when he wasn't around.
No, yeah, you're all just like licking your wounds and recovering. Everyone, the rest of the passengers are starting to head back inside and prepare for a, by their standards, a rough night.
Because like direction's the easiest part.
More of asking is how long.
I don't know, how far are we?
Avaben rolls survival.
Because he doesn't really know, he probably doesn't know this area in particular, so he probably has a hard time judging how far we are from anything.
Through like simple math to figure it out.
22.
By your estimate, Avaben, you roughly gauge that given the time the train left the station, and you know that, as mentioned, this was intended to be an overnight trip. So given the distance traveled, you're, again, a skilled tracker, to head back the way you came and to head to your destination would actually be roughly about the same time on foot. However, you realize you probably are a bit closer to Adine itself. But even heading that way, by a, again, rough estimate of distance, probably maybe a day or two of trekking. Longer, potentially, given how many people
And
are
that's
going
if we follow the track the way we were going, right?
Yeah. Heading back, it will take a little bit longer, but you would be able to get everyone to the station. And of course, you know that that route is travelable. You have no idea what lies ahead of you or what awaits you in Adine.
We need someone who knows what the way to Adine would look like. That would be the deciding factor. Where's that detective?
Vaben, as you hoist yourself up, you go to find Detective Custard Bath. What are the rest of you going to do? All right.
I really can't think of anything that she wants to do.
Okay. As Alfred and Asari, you lick your wounds and heal, Vaben finally stands and makes his way inside to find the detective and get input from him on the situation. After about 10 minutes, 20, Greylog's head kind of perks up, and Alfred and Asari, you see several small lizards making their way through the mud towards him. He leans down and, using his druidic animal talents, communes with the creatures quietly before he rises and looks to the two of you with a somewhat stoic, but you do notice a small bit of relief in the expression. Well, bit of good news. We found the missing passengers.
We? I kind of look at the lizards curiously.
He gives a nod. I sent them to search the train. They missed all the action, but they found what I told them to find.
And what was that?
The missing passengers, the Don. He kind of waves his hand as if expecting you to pick it up.
She kind of like raises her eyebrows a little bit. That's awesome, really.
He gives a bit of a nod and looks to you, Alfred. You want to come with to go get them? I don't know what state they're in, just that they're alive. He looks a little disquieted before.
Sorry. Got my mic muted. Yeah, I said I will come. Yeah.
All right. They found them in the back, this way. Vaben. As you make your way inside the train, the mood has greatly shifted since the explosion. The train cars that were once filled with, at worst, arguments, but generally just the quiet enjoyment of the luxury, has now been replaced with fearful whispers of the disasters that have plagued this trip. What was intended to be an overnight trip has now been bare minimum extended to 2 days, potentially longer, depending on how long a journey on foot will take them. These people, as you expected, are not prepared for being out in a place like this. Not to survive on their own, at any rate. And quite a few people look to you as if hoping for answers, or at the very least comfort about their situation. But eventually, you're able to find the detective, currently in the tertiary passenger car, along with Ollie, you all, and Anna. The four of them are gathered outside of the cabins, you all with his back propped up against the wall, Ollie with a hand on his head next to him. Across from them, Anna and the detective, both of them with their arms crossed against the opposite wall. As you enter, the detective and the others glance to you, and you all gives you a bit of a nervous smile, but looks away as Ollie gives you a much more comfortable looking one. Glad to see you're looking better.
Oh, as well as I can.
Well, what's our status?
Oh, I need to figure out exactly what we're looking at. Is the detective is here?
Yeah, you all, Ollie, Anna, and the detective.
Do you know this area, detective?
He gives you a bit of a smirk, and fundamentally, I should hope so.
Oh, what's going to be the way to a dean looking like? Is it going to be like the way out? Or is it going to be rough? I want these people to have the easiest terrain possible.
Fundamentally, probably for the best. He thinks for a moment. You notice a faint smell of some kind of acrid plant in the air as he pulls out a pipe and begins to smoke it,
Is he
considering.
smoking weed?
You're not sure if it's weed, but it's definitely something.
Oh, given from what I understand, the elves from where Vaben grew up probably wouldn't know about it because that's a plant.
Yeah, no, the wood elves are not the kind to imbibe.
Man, there probably aren't any drugs they would do because I think almost all of them are derived from plants.
Yeah, even alcohol.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
fruit.
comes from grains.
And fruit.
Hmm. As this acrid, burning smell hits your nose, the detective finally speaks. While making our way back may be fundamentally safer, we also have to consider the flighty moods of our passengers. As it seems you've taken them under our charge, their safety is our top concern, and while the way back may be easier, they will be remiss to take it. That creature must have gotten on board the train during our overnight stop. It wasn't scheduled, so there likely wasn't the security there should have been to prevent it from smuggling itself aboard. Which means, if we tell the passengers we're going back, we're telling them to go back to a city that we can't promise them is safe. And likely, they'll figure out for themselves that that creature couldn't have been aboard the whole time, and that we're leading them somewhere that we, again, cannot promise them isn't dangerous. I will inform the people of the station that they may have an infestation, but as it stands, our current dilemma can only be resolved one way: forward. But
Or what kind of terrain are we looking at?
largely woodland and hilly terrain, plains nearby. But while this area has routinely and historically been patrolled by bandits, activity has declined in recent years. If we're fortunate, we may be able to make it to our destination without interruption. If not, they will be relying on us to keep them safe. And fundamentally, that is what we shall do.
Alright. Do you have any... Out of curiosity, Matthew, what kind of ways of navigation do you think Avaban and the people he grew up with would be used to using?
It's mostly instinctual, like, you just kind of get comfortable in your environment and learn how to navigate it as if like, think of it as if the entire forest was your house. Like, you don't think consciously about navigating it, you just go around it so often that it just becomes instinct. But in the event they have to create maps, your people typically either inscribe them arcanely, communicate them verbally, or if it is absolutely necessary to transcribe, on stone.
So they don't really do. So they don't really do like any. They don't have experience with like stars or anything like that.
It's not unheard of, but it's not their preferred method. They consider it essentially a primitive form of navigation that they think of themselves as somewhat above.
Yeah, but it is a pretty universal. That's why I was asking, because it is it's a pretty before GPS. It's a pretty universal way because.
Oh yeah, like I was just answering your question that basically, yeah, it wouldn't have been the normal means of navigation that you grew up with, but it's certainly a skill you could possess. Because remember, you were raised by wood elves. Wood elves typically don't do that. You are a dark elf who do navigate that way.
But they live underground.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, but he was probably too young to know any of that, and I have a feeling they probably don't tell the members of their species like him that kind of stuff because then they might use it to go away. If we can, while still maintaining our direction, we should maybe try to stay on flat terrain if we can.
Fundamentally, that'll be easy. We just have to follow the tracks. That exposes us to potential bandits, but you're right. The people of this train aren't equipped to deal with rough terrain. That'll slow us
I'd be
down.
shocked if any of them have ever climbed rough terrain before in their lives.
He gives a nod, and Anna gives a bit of a grimace, and I overheard some of the passengers talking. I think that creature might have eaten all the food. So whatever all of us had on us is all we got.
Well, we're about to be in the woods. There's bound to be some game.
Then I assign that duty to whoever is capable. Our encampment will need to be watched. If there are still bandits in the area, they'll likely see our exposed engine has a weakness they can exploit. And unfortunately, fundamentally, they're right. We'll spend the night here, allowing you and your companions to rest and heal. And he runs a hand over his bandaged injuries. And you get the impression, while he's not saying it, he likely needs a bit of rest himself. Once we've recovered, we'll inform them of the plan. These people are going to have to deal with hardship and hunger for potentially the first time in many of their lives. But we don't have any other choice. The way forward is dangerous, but the way back is potentially even more so. Who knows how many of these creatures were at the station?
How many passengers are there?
There are... Here, I have it written down here. There are about 40 people in total, counting all of you.
Do you know what kind of animals there might be in the area?
He kind of considers for a moment, and any game likely was scared off by the blast. They won't be back for a while. But once we make it to the woodlands, I know the dark woods are full of game. I used to hunt back when I lived in this area.
Did they have deer back home, Matthew?
Yes, they did.
It's a
Tyrandras.
fantasy. It's a fantasy setting. They could have fucking anything.
Yeah, they are known as Tyrandras, but yes, they did.
And they weren't like faux pas to hunt?
No, meat is free game. You just can't do plants.
Okay. Wait, what were they called?
Tyrandras.
Tyrandras? Can you put that in the chat?
Yes.
Can you put it in a sentence?
I am hunting a Tyrandras.
Is there anything like a Tyrandras or similar size?
He gives a bit of a smirk, but eventually does relent and nod. I suspect as much, and even if there's not, there's plenty of other creatures. We won't be hurting for game, we just need to make it to the woods.
I'm just thinking about the numbers here. How many people do you think one Tyrandras feeds?
3 if we're being conservative.
3 if we're being conservative.
Like, basically, if everyone is willing to not necessarily be full, but just not be starving.
Just eat what they need.
Mm.
We got about 40 people.
Yeah, a lot of Tyrandras.
That's like a day's worth. Like they'll be set for a day if they do that.
Yeah.
Well, if it's gonna take us I might even be hoping for something bigger now that I'm thinking about it. If we
Eventually, Ollie holds up a hand, and Vaben, you're not the only one here who can hunt. Just...
I know, I'm working out the logistics here. If we make it stretch, we can feed 3 people with something of that size. So, for I guess about 40-ish people we have, it's gonna take quite a bit. Even if we're stretching it.
Eventually, the detective breathes out a plume of smoke from his pipe, and for now, we don't need hunters, we need guards. Return to your companions for now.
We have plenty of people who can guard.
As you say.
I'm just worrying about the next issue.
Alfred, following behind Greylog. As you make your way down the train line, you are taken to the storage car, the caboose of this massive vessel. Greylog climbs aboard and helps you do the same. And you open the door. Looking inside, you see that this car is largely very plain. Not at all the lavish decorativeness of the previous carts. Likely because this was merely for objects and not for the inhabitation of picky passengers. You see various barrels and crates scattered around, a few bags of people's personal possessions that they didn't need on them for this trip. But most notably, Alfred, you see at the back of the car is a splatter of bubbling tar. And wrapped up within it is the conductor, the crew, and Don Campan. The Don gives a wide smile as the two of you enter. Now you see, this is what I told all of you. I told you it was only a matter of time before my friends came through for us.
Yes, but there was a bit of an incident.
The essential barista, Vesmova, leans forward, and her voice somewhat weathered by presumable panic. That noise. That creature must have gotten in the engine. Is anyone hurt?
We'll be fine. But no one seems as though no one has fatally been hurt, so
This seems to instill a sense of calm. Campan simply gives a nod as if he had been expecting this. Well, let me be the first one to say thank you for dealing with that problem. Now, I like to think of myself as somebody who can take care of problems, but I'm no exterminator. I leave that sort of thing up to the experts. Now, if you would be so kind, do you mind being a friend and a pal and helping us down from here?
sure. I will help.
As you help cut and pull at the tar to pull the Dawn and crew down, the moment the Dawn is free, he assists you in helping the crew. And Vesmova, you notice, is covered in not serious but somewhat painful looking burns. And many of the other crew members are in the same position. But Vesmova simply steels herself and looks to you. I don't know how long I was unconscious, but if nobody stopped the train, we're stranded. What are we going to do?
We'll get out of this. We'll just have to be smart about this.
All right. She turns to the other crew members. Everyone, the passengers are our first priority. We need to ensure everyone is safe, do a head count. And what became of the creature?
As far as I know, the creature is either in many different places or just gone.
The crew seems largely comforted by this, although you can see the Don give a very slight frown, although he quickly affixes it into his usual easygoing grin. Well, that is comforting to hear. Is there anything I can do to help you and your friends in this very trying time we're going through?
Right now, my main concern is to make sure the people are safe, so we can secure that, then I'll be good.
Vesmova kind of perks up a bit at that and looks to you with wide eyes. Wait, I'm sorry. I can't. I know we can't ask more of you, but please, we need to be guarded. This area is dangerous. The train usually never stops, or at least not for long. If we're going to be stuck here, the bandits.
Don't worry, I wasn't planning on leaving, y'all.
Please, will you and your companions keep watch over the surroundings, ensure that we are not ambushed. As it stands, with all of our food depleted and our passengers in danger, we'll have nothing to offer them but our lives.
And who's to say they won't take that either, but no, I don't believe we will. Again, we will not be leaving y'all, and we will make sure this trip is done with no casualties.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I guess the question is, do we have any shelter for tonight?
The train cars are insulated against the cold, and we have lanterns to provide light and warmth. It won't be comfortable, but it'll be enough.
That's all we need.
All right. All right. She steels herself and turns to the crew. Fanor, Katrin, gather all the lanterns and all the oil. Make sure no cabin is without one. And make sure the passengers know to not leave the train for any reason. And to not answer to anyone but us or... And she nods to you, Alfred. This man and his companions. They know just as well as we do the dangers of this railroad.
Ooh.
And thank you again. What's your name?
I go by Alfred.
Thank you, Alfred. You've already done far too much for us. Is there anything we can do for you?
No. I don't do this for reward, so just wish to make sure everyone's safe.
You're a good man.
But I guess we should gather everyone, all the passengers, and inform them of what is to come.
Right. Yes. You gather your companions. We'll will be in the dining cart. I'll distribute what we have left and inform the passengers. But please, we need your protection.
You keep asking for it, but I keep telling you, it's already there.
She gives a bit of a guilty look and apologies, Sir Alfred. We've had smugglers and disguise artists on this train before. Did you know once we transported the Prince of Thieves without realizing it? And before, people like you have offered their protection only to take from us.
Well, I don't. Well, based off what I've seen, even if I wanted to take from you, it doesn't seem like trying to protect you would be all worth it. But no.
She gives a bit of a guilty smile, but seems to recognize the humor.
Either way, I will make sure that everyone is safe, and I do not wish for anything in return.
Thank you. Come on. Let's go grab your friends and tell them the good news.
What good news is that?
He gestures to the conductor and crew.
Oh,
This little lady and the fine crew of this fine express managed to make it out of the situation unscathed. That is something to be celebrated. Small miracles, silver linings.
I agree. But I guess I'll make sure to start heading back for the rest of the crew.
All right. As the sun begins to set, all of you are gathered. Sorry, a crew member informing you of the meeting in the dining hall. And as you all one by one assemble, as the air outside begins to grow colder and night begins to fall, the mumbling among the passengers stops as Vesmova looks at the gathered people with a somewhat haunted expression. Of Aben and Asari, you can see that she is using long sleeves to cover a series of blisters running up her limbs. All right, everyone. I have good news and bad news. The bad news is the Tietian Express will likely never run again, and certainly not now. It appears that during our unscheduled stop at the station, a slime managed to smuggle its way aboard, likely drawn in by the food. And as it snuck its way around the train, it abducted myself and much of the crew, as well as a passenger, and made a nest of us. Luckily, thanks to the timely intervention of some of our passengers, and she gestures to the four of you, we have lived to tell the tale. But the creature managed to burn its way through our food stores, tear the train apart, and destroy our locomotion. And as many of you already know, there are bandits in this area, Tibadron, and they'll come after us if they think we're vulnerable. But that is where I have good news. She gives a smile and gestures to the four of you again, and gestures for all of you to step forward if you're willing. The passengers that slew the creature have said they will protect us. They will watch over us to ensure that nothing befouls us in the night. And then, when morning comes, we will make our way down the railroad and stay on the railroad until we reach Adin. I know that we promised you luxury, and I assure you all of your tickets will be refunded, but you all must listen and be cautious. Nobody wanders off alone, and everybody listens to our protectors. Do not leave this train until you are told by myself, the crew, or them. She gestures to all of you.
Do you think that if they need anything, they can just, ask?
She gives you a nod. Of course, but I don't want anyone unable to find you to leave the train looking for you. If anyone needs anything, search the cars, but otherwise, hang tight. Someone will come and check on you. I promise. In the meanwhile, the express is yours. She gives the four of you a bow. Whatever you think is necessary to keep us safe from the bandits, please do it. You have my permission. I will take responsibility with this, with management. This accident is my fault.
Sorry, kind of looks at the floor and our feet. No, mine.
A mumble shoots among the passengers as the words hang in the air. My dear, you have already done much for us. There's really no need. And she gives a smile. The creature destroyed our boiler. There's nothing you could have done to prevent it.
She just gives her head low.
All right. If there's no other pressing matters, you're all dismissed. Come to me and the crew, and we will give you lanterns and enough oil to last you the night. And I'm sorry, but we will have to be hungry tonight. But we will find a way to feed everyone during the trek tomorrow. Just please be patient. You hear a few complaints, but surprisingly, everyone is being rather collected about this for now. And she gives a sigh, seeing as a violent mutiny is not on her hands, and smiles to you, Alfred, and the rest of the party before then everyone is dismissed. Come find me if anyone needs anything. I'll be in the storage cart.
Let's figure out where we're gonna keep watch.
Well,
I was thinking somewhere on top of the train.
I would say as long as it's not too cold, yeah.
What's up, blanket?
What?
Yeah,
If it-
you're
Sorry, she just said put on a blanket.
I just worry that we'll get a cold. Less, I guess. Well, not too worried. Well, I guess that could be situated.
all right. In that case, Avaben, do you intend to keep watch as well, or are you going to rest tonight? Like, just fully, I mean. You're muted if you're talking.
with lost
How many
hope.
people are keeping watch?
Alfred seemingly is going to, and as far as I can tell, Asari is as well. So you can cover the last shift, or Greylock can take it.
How long will the last shift be? Like how long until it?
It'll be about 6 hours.
Okay. Then Vayne will do the last shift.
Okay.
He'll do the last shift. Well, he'll do his 4 hours and then he'll be keeping watch from there.
Okay. In that case, everyone, please roll me a perception check. Asari and Alfred, given the darkness and environment you're in, your rolls will be at disadvantage.
Even with dark vision?
Yes, because as I was informed, dark vision just gives you disadvantage, but it lets you make the check at all. Whereas, or if you didn't have dark vision, I would just say tough shit. If you don't hear it coming, you're fucked.
Oh, I rolled 2 natural 20s, so.
All right, Alfred.
Perception. I rolled a natural 20 and then a 12. So 11.
All right, 11 from you, 20 from Asari, and Vaben.
I got a, let's see, 21. Yes, 21.
Okay,
12 plus 9.
okie dokie. In that case, as the cold night falls, you all, in shifts, take up vigil atop the train to watch over the surrounding plains. If these bandits are as vicious as you've heard about, you definitely
Also,
don't want to be caught off guard.
Vaven gets a long rest, right? Did everyone get an opportunity to get a long rest?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. I guess Vaven's gonna. Well, then I guess someone's gonna see something before Vaven get his turn.
We'll see.
Alfred, as you take up the first vigil with the setting sun, you see smoke still rises from the locomotive, and the railroad stretches far ahead of you, but you focus your attention on your surroundings, watching the flanks and surrounding environments for any signs of little sneaky thieves trying to take what the train has. However, thankfully, your vigil is undisturbed, and you swap places with Asari. Asari, your vigil is similarly rather quiet. The only thing you notice that Alfred misses is the ever-growing cold. However, that is disrupted by the seemingly perpetual heat coming off of the wreckage, likely still some of the damage of the steam making itself known. And you can hear the train groaning and creaking against the cold as the burning hot metal and the freezing cold air conflict against one another, creating this ear-splitting noise of gripes and groans.
She just watches it passively.
Finally, Asari, you pass the watch over to Avaben. All of you get a short rest.
But
Hold up.
4 hours.
Hold up. Avaben, as you are awoken by Asari, and take up the final vigil. Avaben, you get a long rest. The rest of you get a short rest.
Okay.
As Avaben, you keep a passive watch on your surroundings. Your allies sleeping soundly in the compartment below you. You hear that same ear-splitting sound that Asari had, but you notice it only seems to be getting louder. And finally, growing frustrated, you look closer to see what it is exactly that's causing it. And you see a flame flickering in the rubble of the boiler. The tentacle-like masses of shattered metal begin to shift. And you hear a low gurgling sound.
Have they
As
been? Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, as you see tar beginning to encapsulate the metal, it survived.
Is there anyone around that area, or anything else that could explode in that area?
The pit coal is flammable, but everything in the engine itself that was explosive likely got caught up in the initial blast. And nobody's going to spend a freezing night in a busted up train. So, yeah, as far as you know, there is nobody there.
So there's so if I fired an explosive arrow to make a loud sound, it's not going to cause any secondary explosions.
Yeah, at worst it would set the pit coal on fire, which would be bad, but, you know, manageable.
The fire tar slime.
All right. Trying to keep in mind where the coal is, he's going to shoot an explosive arrow at the slime. A, to damage it, and B, the explosion will hopefully wake people up.
Roll to hit.
I got that good pluses on the longbow.
That one.
I swear to God. No, I didn't that one. 23.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that hits. Roll for
I
damage.
swear to God.
I'm fucking with you. Yeah, roll damage.
He would have had me good there. How do I... Oh, that's a note. That's what that is. Okay. Roll... Oh, shit. What do I roll for the... Hang on, let me... I think I have to have them equipped. There you go. They're equipped now. I can't see them on my equipped stuff, so it didn't matter.
Yeah,
special.
you name your target and fire it. So you already hit. Deals the normal damage plus an additional 1d8 radiant, and the arrow is destroyed.
So it does 2d8 damage.
Yeah, 1d8 of
Since-
piercing and 1d8
Since it was in the
radiant.
middle of an explosion, I'm going to assume that the slime had been damaged previously.
Yes, it is very damaged. It's recovered a little bit because it has been spending the day eating bits of the metal to regain its strength.
That means I'm rolling 3d8s, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah.
1d8 gets a +6, though.
Yes, and since
But
they're all different damage types, if you don't mind, give them to me separately.
Okay. We'll do it one at a time then.
Yeah, because it could be resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, for the arrow damage itself. That fell into my food bowl. Hold on. That's going to be 7 for the arrow itself.
Okay, 7 for the arrow.
5 for the explosion.
All right.
And then 4 for Colossus Slayer. And I'm assuming I don't get sneak attack on this.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Okay. So yeah, so it was 7 damage on the arrow, 5 damage on the explosion, and 4 from Colossus Slayer.
All right, thank you so much. Avaben, as you see the tar slime beginning to reconstitute itself, tearing its way out of the wreckage of the boiler, you knock an explosive arrow and fire. A massive blast reverberates through the still night, and the creature lets out a bubbling. And you see something that it didn't have before. with it still digesting bits of the boiler, you can see a superheated flame coming off of it and steam rising out of what you assume to be roughly its head.
Resistance to fire damage? Or radiant?
I don't think I did any fire damage.
Yeah, he's
Radiant?
more just noting that, yeah, it's possible that its resistances and abilities have changed now that it's fused with the train's boiler, basically. Which he would be right on that.
By the way, did the explosion sound the alarm?
Yes, but because you do, remember, you have 2 attacks on your turn. Do you want to do anything else?
Well, considering all the situation, considering we're already in a bad situation, let's see if I can actually end this fight instantly. Oh wait, but I gotta be within 30 of it to do that. Unless I... Hang on, let me check my feats here. Not that one, not that one. Not that one, not that one. Where's my damn feats? This.
Damn feats!
No, that's racial trait. There you go.
There you are.
Sharpshooter, attacking at long ranges and impose disadvantage on your ranged weapon attack rolls.
Yeah, that's all it
Okay, so it's
does.
all ranged weapons.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can actually do it at 90.
Okay. So you're gonna use the Forge Cast Pistols insta-kill?
I'm gonna try.
All right. So you are trying to make a fatal shot. Roll to hit.
Roll to hit. I think I take a minus to hit with that.
With sharpshooter, or with,
Oh, no.
with the fatal shot.
Fatal shot.
Oh no! You don't take a disadvantage. It's just that they have to make a save, and if they fail, then they'll insta die. But if they succeed, then they still take damage, but just it's not instant.
Yeah, they'll take 10d10 force damage.
And be pushed back 10 feet.
Even if so, that's still a lot of damage, even if they succeed.
But you can only use this once per long rest, and you just long rested, so you'll be completely out of this for the rest of the day.
Yeah, but what are the odds we run into another fucking boss before I get to sleep?
I was like, I will say this. You already did it. You did just sound an alarm as well for another explosion. Yeah. You already did it, so.
That's why I'm like making uncomfortable noises.
But we'll see.
Well, he thought, just in case this fails, everyone is awake.
Yeah.
All right, roll to hit.
Okay, rolling to hit, and I get plus 14 because I took a feat to give me bonuses with that kind of weapon. Hold on, that was cocked.
Oh, yeah, proficiency.
Okay, 14 plus 13 is 27, right?
14 plus 13. I believe,
Well,
yes.
The roll was 13, and I have a plus 14.
So, yeah, that hits. All right. Let me see if Fatal Shot takes.
Just in case, I'm going to get the 10d, or as many d10s as I can.
Yes, because that is a 25 on the save.
Alright, so he's still going to take 10d10 damage.
Yeah, force
Let
damage.
Let me... On top of the regular damage?
No, that's just the damage that shot does.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to be doing some math here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is the one benefit to roll 20. Just be like, click, it does the math for you.
7 plus 3 plus 10. Now for the next 3. Plus 7, plus 4, plus 6. That's 6 rolls. Here's 9 rolls. Plus 8, plus 4, plus 4, and then 1 more. plus 6. 59 damage.
All right. Avaben, as you see the creature continue to pull itself from the rubble, you sling your bow over your shoulder and unholster your forge cast pistol. As the apocalypse slime lunges out of the locomotive and plunges itself over the coal cart and seemingly begins to try and eat everything within, you fire the well-aimed fatal shot. But even as the powerful shell pierces through the creature, it lets out a wicked, angry-sounding gurgle, but still moves as it shifts its form upwards and seems to notice you. And while slimes don't exactly have faces in the traditional sense, there is a disquieting pause as the thought occurs to you. It remembers.
It remembered.
And abandoning its pursuit of the coal cart, it begins to expand in size and slither its way over the train towards you, seeming intent on consuming you entirely. Asari and Alfred in your cabin shared with Anna, you're startled awake by another explosion, and you hear a gunshot on the roof above you, as well as the roaring gurgles down further down the train. It survived, and it's found Avaben.
Alright, up and out of bed, let's go.
Alright. Everyone roll for initiative, but Alfred and Asari, this will be counted as a surprise round for you, since you literally got woken up by the sound of the fight starting. But,
Luckily, it's not attacking you.
So everyone roll for initiative.
Alright, I'm gonna roll again because it was again a natural 20. I don't believe it, so I'm just gonna roll again.
Don't worry.
That would be 3 natural 20s in a row. I don't believe that shit.
But don't worry, I'll
I saw
fix
it
it
happen
later.
and I don't believe it.
Don't worry, I will counteract your good. I will take the bad luck because I got a natural 1. 3.
Oh my god.
All right.
Oh my
Alfred.
god.
I
You
will-
need some new dice.
I'm not using dice. Well, I guess I could change what my dice
Am
look
I
like.
am I just like taking all of your guys' luck?
No, don't
I mean,
worry.
I'm rolling alright.
I was saying all my dice, but I will just change my dice. I have several.
All right. Avaben initiative.
I got a 4 plus 17 is 21.
All right.
But yeah,
Right?
I will,
Yes.
I will definitely come over
Okay.
there and curse your dice. Don't worry about it.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
go
No,
full-
he
go
did do
full
this.
Whedon.
No, he did do this. He did do this. And
You know, I actually learned there is a trick to figure out the balance of your dice.
No,
Yeah.
he did
Put
do
it
this,
in
and they are
salt
cursed.
water.
They do not
Yeah,
roll above a 13 now.
yeah. If you put water and then put a lot of salt in it, it floats and then you can roll around.
And wherever it likes to settle is the side it's heaviest towards.
All right. And Asari initiative.
16.
Okay.
Just rolling on me.
Asari and Alfred, you have a surprise round, but the turn order is Slime, Avaben, Asari, Alfred.
Slime gets to go first. See what it is capable of.
El Fuego slime.
About to get jacked up.
Man, I'm glad I got a long rest.
Where am I in the initiative?
Well, you could have done the short rest.
I need to take out Peach.
You have time. Remember, there's a surprise round, so you have time. Go ahead. In the meantime, Avaben, as the ooze abandons its consumption of the train, it instead focuses on the consumption of you. Let's see here.
Wait. Rimuru? What?
What?
It's
You know, it's funny because I think you made the exact same joke last time.
I know. I don't know about. I made a joke about. I think I made the joke about it whenever it was the dragon thing. That dragon that can eat anything and it will gain their
Yeah,
powers.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. There.
I was
yeah,
like,
that was Rimuru.
yeah, that was Rimuru actually. This one's just it's just slime. So
It's just a slimmy slime that eats stuff.
Oh, also, I found the perfect gift for Asari and Alfred whenever that explosion went off.
All right.
What?
So I'm gathering up dice to make this process a little easier.
Yeah, how many dice you plan on rolling, Matthew?
lots,
For this, 11.
like lots, and probably about 10 or maybe 9 of those are probably
I have a
damage.
feeling I'm gonna regret that kill shot not working.
Not working. Not like a regret thing. Not like you have a choice.
As the newly born boiler slime is going to use its steam burst ability.
Man, my damn steam burns just healed.
Avaben, make me a Constitution saving throw.
Now wait, where am I in the cart?
I am so glad I am not Caleb. Like, just hang on, I just gotta check. I'm pretty sure Caleb, that was his second dumb stat.
And Alfred, to answer your question, you are in the car below Avaben. So after the surprise round, there will be a round of movement to get you guys out of the train, but then you will be on the battle map.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask.
Actually, Caleb has the same constitution as Avaben.
Yeah, but I just figured, is he 10 feet from me?
No.
Oh, well, not saying him. I haven't been.
Oh, Avaben, yes, Avaben is.
So yeah, Vaven can get a +3.
Alright, Avaben, you have a +3 to this.
On top of my +2.
So yeah, con save, what'd you get?
Okay, so 16 plus 2 would be 18, plus 3 would be 21.
Okay, you succeed the save, you'll take half. As it
Hang
is
on,
going to
hang
use...
on.
Oh,
Did I get the thief ability yet? No, I didn't.
No, it's way later. Way later.
Yeah, if it's way later, I'm probably not gonna get it.
I don't know. I don't remember a while. I know it is a bit, but uncanny dodge. No, that's not.
and then
It's
half
evasion
that,
7.
So... Avaben, as the creature clambers atop the coal cart and hauls itself up onto the passenger car, it burns and boils before a burst of steam jets across it and slams into you with intense force. You steel yourself and grit your teeth against the horrible burning. You take 18 fire damage.
Owie.
Plus, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have. That rogue ability wouldn't count here anyway. So
Oh, it doesn't?
yeah, it's only for dex saves.
Did I
Since
have
it,
an ability that helped my movement, or was that Caleb that had that?
Probably Caleb.
Caleb with the dashing, which I think you do have that. Uncanny dodge or uncanny action. Lets you dash as a bonus action.
Uncanny, yeah, I don't see that, so.
What level of rogue are you?
4?
Should be level 2.
Oh, cunning action. Oh, okay. Bonus action.
Bonus action as to dash, disengage, or hide. I think it's slowly edging forward.
Yeah, Avaben, the creature, clambers less over the train cars, and basically it starts consuming them entirely as it builds itself larger and larger with every scrap of metal it digests. And as it rises above you, it lashes out with 2 pseudopods to strike at you.
Pseudopod.
Does a 23 hit?
Do you have to ask that question?
I kind of do, actually.
Sometimes, yeah, like sometimes it can.
Yes, I have an AC of 17.
Okay, so both hit.
You could hit him without modifiers if you roll a 17 or... No, wait. Is it match B?
Attributes.
So yeah, if you roll 17 or higher, you wouldn't even need modifiers to hit Evasion.
Well, sometimes modifier. Technically, you can modify, which can make you miss. Nah, you need a negative at that point.
All right. Again, gathering up dice. Apologies. I usually do this beforehand, but let me get all of my friendly neighborhood dice together. And one more should do it.
Yeah, Vaben is definitely not going to be able to beat this thing by himself, so hopefully people show up to help.
Well, the problem is it's a surprise round, so we got a whole turn of it. It still has one more turn without. Or to come outside and you're just on the ground, boiled.
Alright. From the combined damage of both pseudopods making impact, you take 38 bludgeoning damage.
That's just bludgeoning.
And as the pseudopods make contact and start attempting to digest you,
I'm already back. I've already lost all the health I gained from the long rest.
Yeah.
Like, get perfectly knocked off how much health I gained from
Well,
long rest.
it's not done yet. I was like, it's still got more damage. The thing is taking you to
Hey,
half health.
Matthew, I'll save you some time. Is it 66 damage?
no, it is 63.
Oof.
I
Wait.
have 3 health left.
And what armor are you wearing? Studded leather +1?
Yeah, inventory. Yeah.
Okay, so you do not have to worry about it digesting your armor, but it does start to digest you.
You would think leather armor would be easier to digest,
No,
considering
it's
it's...
because
Well,
it's
it's-
enchanted.
Oh.
Yeah. I also think I figured it should be iron. It likes metal.
That's also true, yes. As I mentioned to Avaben, it primarily eats metal in the Underdark. That's why it smells weird. Avaben, as the creature begins to consume the coal cart, passenger cart 1, passenger cart 2, and finally, basically the two of you staring each other down across passenger cart 3. It lunges forward with its pseudopods like meaty arms, grips you by the torso entirely, and begins to sap and tear at you. The tar burns and steams.
Am I grappled?
No, it's just flavor. The tar burns and steams your skin, and it begins to literally eat you.
Oh my god, that thing did like 100 and... It did 119 damage in one turn.
Yeah, this thing got way more vicious after it fused with the boiler. However, that is
Oh.
the end of its turn. Avaben, you're up.
Well, there's only really one thing Avaven can do. Is there any woods around?
Unfortunately, no. You are out in the plains.
So I'm just right out in the open, great.
Sorry.
It's,
The best way.
well,
you can
there's
do
still only
is-
one thing Avaven can do.
Okay. Like, well,
Basically, yes.
well,
To A, not get obliterated, and B, to stop it from eating the train that have all the passengers on board that we're trying to protect.
yeah, I agree. Good move.
Raven is going to cunning action to dash as a bonus action. Just might as well.
It's far
Does that
away.
mean I could also use an action to dash
Yes.
again?
Yep. That's why Zephyr and Caleb are so fast.
Avaben, are you sure?
Well, are you within melee range? I'm guessing that's what.
He is. The pseudopod is a melee attack.
Okay, then I guess I'm gonna have to use it to disengage.
Alright. Avaben, ducking as the creature lashes out with a pseudopod. You survey your options and dive off the side of the train.
You take 3 damage, right?
Oh my god!
If he wanted to be an ass, you.
Legit, I actually would if it wasn't for the fact that the ground is pretty muddy, so you at least have something to kind of cushion your fall.
That would have been hilarious.
I like how that's his reason. It's not that I wouldn't. It's just that there's a reason behind that.
I mean, yeah, like he's jumping off the roof of a train. Like, have you seen how big a train is?
Yeah.
Ababen, as you dive into the mud, you tuck in, roll, and leap off the side.
Imagine he just sticks like a ball in the mud.
Alright, so that's your bonus action to disengage. Where are you going?
In a straight line away, a straight line perpendicular to the train, so it's easy for the others to predict.
Wait, so just so I'm clear, perpendicular as in following the railroad, or like vertically?
Like, if you imagine the train as a line, going straight away from the line.
Okay.
So the other way.
That's
so,
what.
Okay.
That's what perpendicular means.
I failed math every year, so I was thinking of parallel. That's where I got.
Yeah, parallel.
Okay, so you're gonna run that way.
Yeah, so we're going perpendicular.
All right.
Here, let's do this.
The surprise round. Yeah, he's streaming it, so you guys can see it. That's the surprise round. Now we're back in initiative order.
His turn.
The slime is up. Let's see if his steam burst recharged.
What's the range on it?
40 feet.
So
let's see. If I dashed, I should have been able to get
60.
Oh no, I have my movement speed's 35.
Oh, so what? 70.
Yeah, so I should have been able to get 70 feet from it.
So depending on how fast it is, you can. All it needs is 30 feet.
Alright, so alright, its steam burst does not recharge. So as it watches Avaben sprint away, for fun, I'm gonna have it make a wisdom saving throw.
The thing is, Avaben could potentially run 600 feet away and still hit this thing.
Yeah.
Avaben, as you look over your shoulder, you see the creature, for its part, kind of watches you, but then seeming content that you're simply fleeing, begins to attempt to digest the train.
It wasn't too bloodlusted.
Yeah, actually, that was what my wisdom. I was like, it really wants to chase him, but it also has a shit ton of food right in front of it, which doesn't take, and it decided to go for food.
I was have to be like, but is it 10 feet from me? So you get a +2.
I think that only applies to allies, sadly. That would be really funny, though.
Well, who's to say I don't deem them as an ally? Look, it's a friend.
Do you consider them an ally?
Alright, what shall
It's like, hey, depending on roleplay, ally and enemy can change in a turn.
Very true.
Like it's entirely possible that one turn an enemy wasn't getting the benefit, but then like somebody said something really good, and then like the next turn now they are getting the benefit.
You know what? Yeah, now that you mention it, maybe he will go after him. I'm kidding. It is going to start.
Oh, maybe I should keep it up.
It is going to start digesting the train car.
Just again, train car is destroyed. We're about right here.
Right, that's half the train's health. On one. It's also going to start tearing it apart with its pseudopods. Both hit.
Is that what it's called, a pseudopod?
It's attack. It's called
9.
Which means like sort of feet.
92. Yep. Okay. Asari.
This thing does an
Alfred?
ungodly amount of damage.
Yeah. Alfred, as you and Asari begin to sprint out of the cabin to make your way to the passenger exit and disembark the train, the windows are completely coated in tar. Steam begins to rise from the carpet, and tar boiling from the boiler begins to drip from the roof. And you hear people in the car beginning to panic. Anna quickly runs into the other one to wake up Ollie and you all, as everyone is forced to rapidly wake up and abandon the train.
Thought the explosion woke him up.
Well, yeah, it woke up people who were already alert, but Ollie and you all were like, especially you, all, who bear in mind got impaled earlier today. He was out like a light.
It's just very heavy sleepers, you know?
I thought, like, didn't, like, elves maintain a certain degree of awareness?
And yes, they do, but remember, it's only been a few seconds since you fired that shot.
6 seconds.
No, it's 6 seconds per individual turn, right?
No,
No,
it's
it's
per
6
round.
seconds per overall turn.
Yeah,
I thought it was like 6 seconds for each individual person's turn.
No, like
No.
basically, as of now, it has been 12 seconds since you fired that explosive arrow.
Man, the time always feels weird in D&D. Like, that feels like a little too fast.
Yeah, but it's trying to just... Because the thing is, if you do 6 seconds, it makes spells that are meant to last long, or like 1 minute. That means if you just have like a bunch of people, then that spell's gonna get drained in like 2 rounds.
Like, yeah, 2 rounds tops. Alfred, sorry, you dive out of the door. You hear glass shatter, and Avaben, as you run, you see Anna using her elbow to just break open the cabin window and force you all and Ollie out of it before she too dives out. As the passengers in that car rapidly abandon it, as it is completely consumed and digested by the boiler slime.
Why does that have to be an action? It's like I have too much I need to do in 1 turn.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's one thing about rogues, there's a lot of setup. Or not rogue, rangers.
It's like I could try to heal myself, but that's an action, so if I do that I can't attack.
Yeah.
Which means I've basically wasted that round.
You're more safe at least.
But I could also achieve the same thing by just staying at a long distance, because again, I could go up to 600, whatever the unit of measurement is.
It's feet.
Feet.
Yeah.
I can go up to 600 feet away from this thing and still hit it.
Well, that's good to know, because it is now your turn. Your allies have now joined the fray, although they look tired and shocked. And you see, thankfully, your allies are abandoning the train. However, the car is completely digested by the boiler slime. And it gives a rumbling gurgle as its massive form locks onto Asari. Avaben, what do you do?
Does Hail of Thorns hit an area or a target?
An
Let me check,
area.
actually.
I think it's an
area?
area. Pretty sure
I'll
it's
double
an
check, but normal effect. The target of the attack and each creature within 5 feet.
Yeah, which
Are
we're
the
not.
others within 5 feet?
Actually, no, they're 10 feet away at the shortest.
Okay. Man, I wish I
Basically,
had more
everyone
than bonus.
maxed their movement to just get out of the train before it got digested.
I could use... It's like, I have so many things that use the same kind of action.
Well, yeah, use its action.
Hail of Thorns is a bonus action, but so is Hunter's Mark.
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Also, sorry, you're on deck if you're back with the dog. If not, we'll have Alfred go.
Okay, I'm going to cast... Alright, this thing is tough. We need to maximize damage. I'm going to cast Hail of Thorns, but I'm going to upcast it at 3rd level.
Okay.
Okay. Longbow. Actually, wait. At 70, I could hit it with the forge cast pistol still, which does more damage. Okay, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I can still hail of thorns the forge cast pistol, right?
Yeah, it's just a ranged weapon attack, which this is. So yeah, you're good.
Okay, so that's going to be a 28.
That is a hit. Roll for damage, and I will have it make the save against.
I believe it takes half damage.
Yeah, half as much if it succeeds. That is what's the DC?
15.
Wait,
So basically, I needed to roll like absolute dog shit.
It does succeed the save. Not by much, but it succeeds.
1d10.
Fabian's ability in that regard is not very high.
Yeah.
Alright, so 2d10 from the forge cast pistol.
Bigger, is that like wisdom, right?
So
Yeah,
that's
wisdom for
like
rangers.
so 16, then I add 7, right?
Yes.
So 16 plus 7 is 23 damage from the pistol itself.
All right.
And then let me roll the Hail of Thorns, and then it'll take half that.
Yep.
Which I think is 3d10, right?
Well, you upcast it, so yes.
Yeah.
3d10s.
There's my other d10. 3d10s. 6 plus 6 is... Wait, no, is that... No, okay, that's a 9, the line underneath it. 9 plus... I know this dice was not 6. So it's 9 plus 6, which is 15, plus 2, 17, so half of 17.
Which would be, I believe, yeah, and rounding it.
17 divided by 2 is 8.5, so if you round it up, 9.
Yeah, all right, so yep, an additional 9 damage.
And then I can add a d8.
Yep. Let's take
But
this
there's no one
thing
in
down.
there's no one in melee range of it, right?
No.
I mean, it is like it stopped looking at me. Maybe it surprised it.
Yeah, it did not, I'm afraid. It still very much knew you were there.
Okay, can't blame you for trying.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, go ahead and roll what you do got.
So that'll be an additional 6 damage. So
All right.
in total, it would have taken. Let's see, I rolled 23 plus 9 is 32 plus 6, 38.
All right.
Only like 20 damage less than the fatal shot did.
Avabin, you go for your bow, but realizing that you're still at a good range, you unholster your pistol, take your aim, and as the slime begins to reform from its digestion, you fire and begin to blow chunks off of it, causing it to give another gurgling rumble that sounds distressingly like the boiler of the train did.
Oh,
Anything
this
else?
is like turning into a Choo Choo Charles situation.
It kind of is, yeah.
Yeah, except for Charles is one big choo-choo.
Oh god. Hang on, I gotta write that down. There's our title. Charles gets choo-choo. That's funny.
Okay, I don't think there's any... Oh wait, I can attack again. I always forget I can attack again. But
Yeah,
I
that's what I was
can't.
asking.
All I could do is... All I could do is regular damage, though.
I'm back.
Hello, good timing. Your turn's about to come up. The
Oh,
train-
I rolled a crit on that second attack.
Nice, that is absolutely a hit. Roll damage, double it.
I think I rolled double the dice, right?
Yeah, double the dice and then add modifiers. And sorry for your reference. You don't have any movement, but the train car you were in got digested by the slime, but you, Alfred, and the others managed to dive out before it got completely consumed. No casualties yet, but...
Do I add
it's a
the
3
7
point.
once?
Yeah, the 7
Any
once.
chance that I could elect to not jump out and be consumed?
Okay.
What?
I have a plan.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to use that gif again.
Alright, I will move you accordingly.
Uh,
Is there anybody
8
else
plus
in this?
7
there,
is 15 plus
for my
13.
reference, is there anybody else like in this area immediately?
Not that you can see. The detective and the elves jumped out the cabin windows when they realized what was happening.
I rolled for 35 damage, by the way.
Thank you.
It's like with a crit, I just about matched what I did with all those extra dice.
Yeah, crits, man.
I think Vaven has the most dice rolls of one of my characters right now.
Oh yeah, you went for like a high damage build. That scans. Play a paladin sometime and start collecting d8s.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, Caleb can roll a lot of individual dice, but they're mostly of the same kind.
Alright. Sorry, you're up. As Alfred sprints out, you remain in the car as it is consumed by the slime, and you see the little faux light eyes of the windows as they shatter, glaring at you. It appears the creature holds
Has
a bit of
eyes?
a grudge. Again, that's why I said quote-unquote eyes. It's basically like little parts of the slime that are like brighter than the rest that it basically absorbs light and information through. And it seems like it recognizes you and holds a grudge.
You have to think about it. If it's like absorbs light, wouldn't it be like darker?
I'm going off of cave animals. Ask the salamanders about it.
Actually, they would be white. He's correct.
All right. Babe, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I think that's everything I can do, unless there's something else you think I can do.
All right. Sorry, you're up. Alfred on deck. Sorry, as the train car gets digested and consumed, the creature has not harmed you yet, but you are on a train that is rapidly being eaten away. So.
I know I did this last time. Can you remind me? Because I know I asked this before, but it's been a while. Do I know what plane these slimes are from? Are they from our plane or a different plane?
They are from our plane. They are native to the Underdark. They typically eat metal and things of that ilk, although they are willing to eat pretty much anything that gets in their way.
That
Okay,
gets in their quote-unquote mouth.
I'm going to pick a spot in the Tietian Valley, 500 feet away, and I'm going to dimension door myself, and along with the slime, 500 feet away.
Wait, what?
Goodbye.
What?
You're just gonna do dimension door, which is just basically makes a door appear, and you go do it. It goes up, good distance.
But how are you gonna get the slime to go through it?
I'm in the slime, so I'm.
You teleport yourself from your current location. You can bring along objects, and you can bring a willing creature of your size or smaller.
Damn it.
I'm pretty sure this thing is unwilling and is not your size.
Yeah, it's twice your size and deeply, deeply unwilling.
Okay, plan number 2. You said this is an oil thing?
It's a tar slime specifically, although it is now fused with the boiler that blew up.
I'm going to sigh to myself. Well, it was nice while it lasted, and I'm going to cast Fireball at
God,
6.
I got
Oh.
a damn plan.
Okay.
I need a dexterity saving throw, please, and I'm gonna do one too. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, but because of my sorcery thing, can I miss myself?
Let me check, actually. That's a good question.
Doesn't it say an ally?
I
Like,
have
I mean,
staff-
I guess
I
it would
have
depend on.
Yeah, no, she's right. Up to 3 creatures to automatically succeed. So, yeah, she can do that.
Sweet.
Yeah. I thought it was said ally, and I was gonna be all like, I mean, I think most people would consider themselves their own ally, but I don't know. Maybe that's something you gotta take up with a psychiatrist.
All right. Now, I will also mention, since you're going to the trouble of using this anyway, and you still have 2 creatures, you all, Ollie, the detective, Greylog, and Alfred will get caught in the blast. Pick 2 of them to be spared.
Greylog. Automatically Greylog.
Okay? Who
Who else?
You all, the detective, Ollie, and Alfred are going to get caught in the blast.
You all.
Okay.
I love
And
how
I'll say, I really hope that Ivan knows I'm helping him right now.
I find it so funny how members of this party just do not consider who is around them.
This party is so bad about friendly fire.
It's like I literally I'm over here like, hey, hang on, is there anybody within 5 feet of
Wait,
it?
you say that. This is also considered.
Anytime I have hit the party, it was on purpose.
Really? Really? What about that? What about the one you killed Greylog? You didn't.
Wait, what happened? What was the
Remember?
context of that situation?
You killed Greylog.
It killed Greylog as he got caught in the blast.
Yeah, because he teleported to the enemy. You just didn't realize it, so you shot
Well,
explosive
that's his fault.
I mean, you still.
He's the one who teleported to where I was attacking.
Alright, you all, Greylog and Asari, automatically succeed. Everyone else present, except for you, Aven, you're good. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
Are they all within 10 feet of
The detective is not, everyone else is.
Is it dex save?
Yeah, dex save.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, you're good. I mean,
Hey,
I
everyone
could-
gets a +3 because they're near Alpha.
Yeah.
Alright, the slime, what's the DC, sorry?
16.
Alright, slime succeeds.
God damn it.
Detective succeeds.
Well, that's good.
Ollie fails.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
I
Just when I thought that Aven was going to be able to get out of this without killing Asari.
I could have killed something.
Yeah, we haven't even done damage yet. We're still taking care of the...
Yeah, I mean, I will succeed failed.
You'll what?
I failed, but I will take half.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because you're a thing. Okay. Alright, sorry.
Succeed, fail.
Uh,
Man, I hope tomorrow isn't going to be this chaotic as well.
Well, tomorrow.
we only are gonna have a huge military battle.
No.
It's
Well,
easy.
we're gonna have a conversation with the old mom.
Really hoping.
I mean, I hope she doesn't honestly expect that those armies would just leave. You could say, oh, no, turns out it's all good. You could just leave now.
41 fireball.
Alright.
41.
41.
Yeah, that's true. If it's made of oil, wouldn't it actually be weak to fire? Because it would set
Yeah,
on fire?
that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I'm
21.
thinking.
21. 21.
Okay. So, Avaven, you're clear. Ollie takes the full 40. Everyone else takes half. Sorry,
Well-
you all, and...
Well, they just don't take any damage. They're safe from the explosion. I think this I think it makes them just not affected at all.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Everyone takes half of my mom.
Yeah, basically, everyone who gets hit, with the exception of Ollie, takes half, it seems, as far as I can tell. Sorry.
This is exactly what Avaven was talking about when he told them not to come.
Sorry. Drop a molten ember into the digesting mass below you, and channeling all of your magical acumen, carefully plan what's about to happen. As yet again, a part of the train explodes.
Yeah.
Keep going.
The fire,
Why does this train keep exploding?
the fire magically works its way in a smooth, artistic circle around Greylog, you all, and Asari herself. Avaven, you watch as the car goes up in smoke, and the slime gives a happy, cheerful gurgle as it begins to eat the molten metal.
Oh my god.
It is resistant to fire damage.
Of course.
Oh my god,
Of
are
course it
you?
is.
So,
Oh, that
Nothing
gif
makes
is
sense.
vilified.
Nothing makes sense.
I've got a goddamn plan! Because it's just as effective as his plans were.
Well, that's
We got this.
Sorry. Is that
They
the end of your
blew
turn?
up their own party
We
to
got
do
this.
no damage.
Well, no, it did damage.
yeah, just sigh and let it eat me.
All right. Alfred, you're up. Ababen, you're on deck after the slime.
This party,
I love this party. God.
Alright.
I don't know if I can handle this, Matthew. I think we need to stop.
Hey, we got time. What happened to we got time? Mr. We
Yeah.
got time.
Man,
Alright.
man, fuck you.
I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Watching us suffer.
Guys, it's
Nah.
bloodied. If it makes you feel better, it's bloodied.
Well, yeah, a lot of damage was done, so.
Alright, Alfred, you're up. What do you do?
Well,
Uh,
I don't want Sari to die, so I will go up to her and give her a little touch on the shoulder, and I will cast a death ward.
Alright. As the now flaming slime finishes its digestion, you take advantage of the lull to lunge forward and pull Asari out of the tar-bitten wreckage and ward her against potential death as all of the fight seems to suddenly be shot out of her.
Yep, and then of course I will also put on her sanctuary.
Can you do both?
Yep, they're neither of them are cons, so.
But just legitimately correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it that if you multicast spells, it has to be a cantrip?
That is true. You are correct.
So which do you want to do?
I mean, I would do death ward just.
Okay.
because
Well,
I-
man, we've had a great day. It's like the guy who's always talking about we got time is like, can we just end it? And the guy who and the rules lawyer got rule lawyered.
Alright.
Matthew's on
Cool.
fire today, just like this slime.
I was gonna say, I'm quite literally on fire right now.
Well,
It's like that double duality song, I'm literally on fire right now. Alright. End of your turn, Alfred?
I hope we get to play that again. I really miss that game.
We will, don't worry.
What?
That's
Tuesday.
it's one of the it's work, don't worry. Yeah, so Alfred, anything else?
I will stand next to Asari and protect her.
Alright. Are you willing to get closer to the creature? Okay, yeah, you got it, you're good. Alright. Alfred, climbing up into the wreckage of the car yourself, you stand beside the sorcerer, shield at the ready, suit in tatters around you, as the flaming creature turns its attention to you.
At this rate, like Alfred's gonna be like completely fucking naked. His clothes keep getting burned and destroyed.
Let's see if its steam burst recharges. It does not.
No. Yay!
Let's see if its acid recharges.
No.
It does not.
Yay!
So all it can do this turn is its pseudopods.
Pseudopod. Such a weird word. Every time you say it, like I just find it so weird. Like pseudopod.
Alfred does a 28 hit.
Yes.
Alright, now this time a genuine question. Does a 17 hit?
No.
Okay, so one pseudopod makes connection.
What are those things plus, out of curiosity?
Plus 13.
Oh, the only way it doesn't hit a Vaven is if it rolls less than a 4.
Late game monsters, man. Okay. First up, Alfred, you take 24 bludgeoning damage.
4 damage.
And as its stomach acids begin to eat away at you, an additional. Grab another. I'll just roll one more. And 30 acid damage.
Alright.
And is your armor magical?
I believe so. I'm wearing the armor of glittering inspiration.
Yeah, that counts. Okay. Alfred, the creature, lets out another and lunges at you. You parry away one of its pseudopods with a splattering thunk, but as your arm is pulled by the sticky substance out of your grip, you feel a pseudopod impact into your chest, and the acids begin to eat away at you as the creature gives a seemingly satisfied from your taste.
He likes how you taste.
That noise is fun to do, but
Alright.
Man, you just really like doing the voice of gloopy monsters.
I do. I really do.
Like you
The
do
gloopy
like you got
monster.
slimes here, you got frickin'
Beasts.
Ichor Beast.
Yeah, I have a type. What can I say? That is the end of the Boiler Slime's turn. Avaben, you're up. Asari on deck.
Are there now people within 5 feet of it?
At the moment, no.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, 'cause remember, it had 15 feet of distance on you, and Alfred only moved to make sure Asari was safe.
No, I mean, is it within 5 feet of anyone else?
Yeah.
No, not at the moment. Everyone else dove out the side, so they'd be even further. And let me double check this, but I believe it has to have an enemy in engagement range for a sneak attack. Although
Yeah.
if it itself being in engagement range counts, then you go ahead.
I think it's 5 feet.
Okay, so yeah, no luck, I'm afraid.
Okay, so
Someone would have to
I
either
think
charge it or lure it closer.
I think I figured out how I'm gonna handle this. If the second someone gets within 5 feet, we're gonna stop Hail of Thorns it and use sneak attack for bonus damage instead.
Wait.
Okay.
So to maximize damage, we're gonna Hail of Thorns this motherfucker again.
Alright, you channel your elvish magic of the woods into the Atlantean pistol. Level it, fire, roll to hit. And if you want, you can go ahead and roll both attacks now, just so we have it ready.
Okay, so I guess I'll roll 2 dice then. Okay, I'll roll 1 for this first attack. Okay. Plus 14. And I gotta do some math. 9 plus 14 equals 23.
That is a hit. You want to roll the second one or start doing damage?
I'll roll the second one.
Okay. Just so I don't get
The
confused.
second one is going to be a dirty 20.
That also hits. You're good.
Okay, so let me take care of this first attack here because there's a lot going on.
This is gonna be the crazy one.
So it's 2d10 for the pistol plus 7, which then there'll be an
Colossus Slayer, then your Hail of Thorns, which I will roll its dex save for. It fails.
Oh, good. So now it's gonna take actual damage. Okay, so 2d10 for the pistol. It's gonna be 6 plus 7 is 13. Then we're gonna roll 3 d10s for Hail of Thorns. 14 plus 8 is going to be 22 damage from the Hail of Thorns.
Nice.
And then another d8 for the Colossus Slayer. That's going to be an additional 4 damage. And then 2d10 for the second attack. It's going to be 9 plus 7 on that attack, which would be 16.
Okay.
That's all the
very
damage
nice.
it takes in that turn.
You fire your pistol, and the first shot explodes in a detonation of vines and thorns, and the creature gives a as it curls in on itself, seeming finally kotoed by the amount of onslaught it's taking. But its petulant rage at its dinner being interrupted seems to somewhat override it. Anything else on your turn, Ababen?
That's all I can do.
Alright, sorry, you're up. Alfred
I
on deck.
use my action, I use my bonus action. I don't think there's any other kind of action.
And sorry, you're muted if you're talking.
Oh. Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
Alright,
Here we go.
okay, you're up. Alfred on deck.
Okay. Is there anything else that can explode?
Huh?
Is there anything that can explode?
Explode.
No.
You can blow up the train car behind it if you want.
Just blow up the whole train just for the fuck of it.
Yeah, Azari really has a bustling career as a demolitions expert, I think.
Yeah, and I think she originally used a lot of ice spells.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
No, I was literally about to do my... when you said that.
Yeah, I can see it now. Dr. Freeze.
Yeah.
I'm going to my magic. Let's.
Does a sorry mean freeze in some language?
I don't think so, but
I don't think so either, but that's fine.
You're cutting
yeah, so-
out.
Alright, yeah, you're
Dragon breath.
Yeah, you're cutting out
Dragon
really
breath.
bad.
yeah, I got the gist of it there. Dragon breath. Alright.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello.
yes.
I don't know
Hello.
what the fuck is going on.
Well, you heard
Alright.
dragon breath.
I'm gonna do my dragon breath at it, and I'm gonna do cold them at it.
Okie dokie. Alright, so that's a DC 14 saving throw.
Okie
Con. Alright. It succeeds the save, so it'll take half.
2d.
Or, yeah, half damage on success. Yeah, it'll take half.
Alright. Not much. Something. 7 cold.
Okay.
It's not much. As an action, I can do that, but I can do. I can still do a spell.
Mhm.
Yeah, as long as it's a bonus action.
Uh-huh.
They'll need. The DM doesn't need to spell it out for you. Unless you're trying to annoy the DM so that maybe I can distract the monster.
Distract the monster. I don't think that. I feel like it would only just make the monster more, beefier.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna quietly give it some more health here.
add another decimal.
It's like raw.
How
It's
much
like debris
room-
from the explosion
I'm
finally
listening. Don't
landed.
worry. Continue.
No, it's okay. I can wait.
Go on.
How much room is there? But-
At the moment, you're on the rubble that was once a train car, so you kind of just have open space all around. Why?
No, like my
I'm sorry, but you're cutting out.
Oh. God, what the fuck is going on with my internet? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Could I, is there enough room to become my dragon self?
You may have to scooch back a little bit, but if you do that, yeah.
Alright, I will do so, and then I will become my self.
Okay. Just for my reference. Oh no, I see it now. Never mind.
It is.
Uh,
I just ticked it off.
no, I was more just checking the spell itself so I can make sure we're not forgetting anything.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, no, I made sure it was a bonus action.
Okay. You take a step back and assume your draconic ancestral form as you let loose a spread of icy frost that coats the superheated creature. It stays still for a moment, and I swear, I'm going to swear on all the gods of all the pantheons, I'm not just doing this to fuck with you. But as the frost consumes it, the steam beneath begins to heat and pop off. And as it breaks free of the ice, it gives another... It is resistant to cold damage.
Oh my god. Matthew, why are you bullying them?
No, like,
Bullying
it's
them.
the same. Like, its resistances
Oh
have
my
changed
God.
since it transformed. It had cold damage resistant last time, too.
Like I say, bullying him. He almost killed you. You just ran away.
Speaking of, Alfred, you're up.
Alrighty then.
Sorry, right now?
Well,
Why?
I will cast Sanctuary on Sorry first. Make sure she's safe.
Alright. Sanctuary.
And then, as my action, let us attack this beast.
Alright. Making one final magical sanctuary on Asari to protect her as she scooches back and transforms. You draw your blade and charge at the beast. Roll to hit.
Yeah.
Also,
That
I'm
might-
assuming you're moving into melee?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Roll to hit.
That bird sums up the situation.
12.
That is a miss, I'm afraid.
Okay, and then okay, 26.
That is a hit. Roll for damage.
Good. 3.
Okay. Boop. What kind of damage?
I believe it is slashing.
Thank you for letting me know.
Oh wait,
Alfred. Huh?
I forgot radiant damage.
Nope. Do you want to do that first?
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
I
go
mean
for it.
that's part of my attack. I have
Okay, so
improved
go ahead and
divine.
do that before I say what happens next. Go for it.
Yes, 4 radiant damage.
Alright, 4 radiant damage. Very good. Alfred, as you charge forward and raise your blade, you bring it down into the creature's mass, and it stops. It is immune to slashing damage. And it is going to use its reaction to split.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's smaller.
god.
They're small. I think it divides their health, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Apparently, Avaven is the only one in our party who can damage this thing.
Oh, and it gets worse. Alfred, as you pull your sword free, some stomach acids come out with it. You take 20 acid damage.
This thing is insane.
And please make a note on whatever weapon you used that it now has a -1 to attacking damage rolls, as the tar digested it when you stabbed it.
I could do that. Let's see, to hit.
Oh, so now his sword is fucked.
But yeah, basically his sword is now permanently worse because the tar digested some of it.
There you go. Already done.
Thank you. Alfred, as you cleave your sword out, acid burns down your front. Bits of your sword are covered in tar and being digested, leaving bits of chipped away metal in its place, what was once a beautiful and sleek blade. And you watch as the creature splits, and half of it goes tumbling off of the train and into the mud.
Oh god, is the other half gonna go after a Vaven?
It's closer to you. Is that the end of your turn, Alfred?
Yes.
It is now the ooze's turn. Does it recharge? Its steam bursts.
No.
Neither do. Do either recharge their acid spray?
No.
Neither do. So they are both restricted to their pseudopods this turn.
Those pseudopods still hurt.
Well, maybe that
First-
they're bigger, that do or that there's less of them, they do less damage.
Oh, hello.
Or because there's more of them, they now have double the attacks.
We shall see.
Alfred, as it lunges at you, I'm gonna guess a 15 doesn't hit.
Nope.
It lunges at you, but you protect yourself as it splatters against your shield. And as it tries to pull itself free, you realize it's smaller, but it's a lot stickier now. A lot of its metal has been lost. And with a nat 1 on its part, I will allow you an attack of opportunity.
Attack of opportunity. Perfect. I mean, I guess I only have the light longsword, so I'll roll with that.
Alright.
19.
That is a hit. Roll for damage. Remember that the -1 applies to that too.
I did. It's already been, like, I've already
Okay.
customized the weapon to where.
Yeah,
If you have a -1 and you roll a natural 20, does that mean you get a 19 instead?
Crits, failure, or success override modifiers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I rolled 3 damage. Wait,
Okay. This is
keep getting
slashing.
back. Hold on. Yeah. 3 slashing and 2 radiant.
Alright, it's immune to slashing, but it takes 2 radiant, and you take...
Oh, he gets to take more damage.
15 more acid damage. And your sword now has a -2 to attack and damage rolls.
How does the health split?
It splits evenly between the 2 halves.
The remaining health?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell they split at the time. So when you
Yeah.
kill one,
Yeah. The other ooze is starting to get irritated at being shot,
yeah.
and is going to start moving towards Avaven. Avaven, if I recall, you said you got, was it 60 or 70 feet away?
70.
Yeah,
Okay.
70 from this position.
Yeah, from that point. So, 25. Okay. It's going to move as far as it can, but that still puts it. Let's see, 25 feet. I'll have it dash, so because there's not much anything better for it to do. So it's going to dash. That puts it up to 50. And that puts it within range to attack you with its pseudopods.
But it
But
dashed.
because it used its action to dash, it cannot yet. So it's within range to attack you now, but it can't. It used up all of its time just getting to you. But the remaining tar slime is charging you.
Is it in melee range so that I'd have to disengage again?
It is
Well-
within melee range of you, but you are not within melee range of it. Like, it's 10 feet away from you, so it can attack you, but unless you have a reach weapon, you'd have to get closer to attack
But-
it.
Yes, you would have to disengage.
So yes, you'd have to disengage from it.
So pseudopods are.
Which means I'm not
50
attacking this turn. Because I'm gonna have to dash to put distance again.
Speaking of, Avaben, you're up. Sorry on deck.
Okay.
It's your turn now.
Well, I'm gonna have to disengage and dash.
Alright. Vaven, disengaging and dashing, you beat a hasty retreat from the creature.
I'm
As
gonna
it
try
gurgles.
to. I'm gonna try to dash since I technically would have extra distance. At least to put it back to the same distance.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it
try to
was-
use some extra distance and start kind of curving back towards the train.
Okay. Alright, so you start to kind of loop around a little
Basically,
bit,
I
sort of
want-
leading the creature on a goose chase.
Yeah, just cue the Benny Hill music.
Yeah, because it seems like you'll always be able to outrun it. It's slower than you, so.
The only main problem is
Yeah, you have to make sure it doesn't get its ranged attacks back. Speaking of...
Well,
Alright,
let's
Maven.
see. If it moves 25 feet without having to use an action,
Yeah.
so it'd be able to get within 55 feet, but I think that's outside the range of its steam, right?
Yes.
Is that outside the range of its acid?
You don't know the range of its acid. I'm fucking with you. Yeah, you're out of range of its acid.
So it can't. Basically, it can't get in range of its acid without dashing. So
Not in range of
Aveva
you,
could
anyway.
Aveva could just keep getting away from it.
Sorry, you're up. Alfred on deck.
The problem is, if it keeps doing this, Aveva can't take a turn to attack.
Yeah.
Because it's fast enough that I have to use all of my action to get away from it.
It's my turn.
Yes.
Alright, I'm to use my breath weapon. And instead of cold, I'm going to do force.
Okay.
Basically, it's like Skyrim. Fosroda!
Alright, and do you want to move to keep allies out of the cone?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you'll kind of wiggle back in between. Deck save from the tar slime, which is...
Fails. Yes.
Finally.
I swear to God, if he comes back and says it's immune to force damage.
It would be 30 force damage.
Okay. Sorry, as you slink past Greylog, past Alfred, you approach the creature, which gurgles at you. But yes, indeed, with a mighty draconic whoosh, you give a shout, and the creature vibrates and explodes.
There you go. So not much help on the slimes.
Yeah, splitting itself reduces its health.
Oh yeah, technically, each of them have
You
less
would
health.
have
than-
survived that if it
I
didn't split.
turn-
So.
I turn my head around. Do I see the other slime?
Yes, it is. It is so that distance, and then it's 50. So it is doing quick math here. 40 feet from you.
Ooh, that's perfect. I will spread my wings and I will fly to it. And can I eat it?
That is ill-advised, probably.
Action.
I am a large, humongous.
I can't imagine this thing's gonna sit well in your stomach.
Make. I'm assuming you don't have an eat attack, so I guess make a retractable claw or unarmed strike. Yeah, make a retractable claw attack. And I'm also gonna have to check something.
Can you even do that?
I just,
Yep. Okay. Are you sure that's what you want to do?
yep,
Okay.
yep. I'm
Alright,
super
roll it.
surprised that I said I was gonna do it. I don't know what I'm rolling, so I'm rolling just a d20.
All right. Yeah. You. It's
Oh!
a D20
Oh no!
plus 4.
I rolled a 2.
All right. That's
Oh!
6 in total.
At least it wasn't a 1.
That's
Fly
a
to
meatball.
You fly to the creature. Wings spread wide. Land.
She rolled a 1. And, if she rolled a 1, she goes to eat the slime, but misses by about 70 feet and eats a Maven.
I am going to take this opportunity to remind everyone that it's a good thing she missed, because if she had hit, it would permanently damage her teeth. As in, even in your regular form, your teeth would be permanently damaged. It's like you ate like 30 warheads back to back.
Man, you have to go to the dentist in both real life and in game.
Oh god!
Alright, is that the end of your turn, sorry?
The line is blurring. Yeah, that's my turn.
Alfred, you're up. Asari lunges at the creature before you can remind her of the damage this thing does to items it touches. But thankfully she misses as she bites at it and slinks out of the way and hisses. What would you like to
I
do,
just
Alfred?
imagine it was like that sound, like the
I go.
The sound?
what's that sound like? There was some movie that had a sound where like a T-Rex like bit something and made like a very like noticeable sound. I can't remember.
I think it was Jurassic Park, wasn't it?
I don't know, maybe. This is like a
Anyway.
T-Rex bite.
Alfred, what do you do?
I wonder if a dragon would have a stronger bite than a T-Rex.
Depends on the dragon. Alfred?
I'm thinking.
Also, Vaven, you're up after the slime, so.
Also, how are the people who were caught fireball?
Alfred, as you look around, since you all was completely exempt from it, the detective handled it like a fucking champ, to his credit. He's wounded, but fine, he's alive. And as you search around, you see that Ollie is rolling around in the mud to put the fire out, but is otherwise alive and conscious.
Oh, she can actually take a hit,
Yeah,
apparently.
she remember, she was a hunter. She knows she can take a beating.
So it's just you all that can't take
Yeah,
it.
no, you all's just really squishy. Yes,
Good.
Oh,
Fine
mother
health.
of fuck! There goes all my dice.
Alright, anyways, so what you doing, bud?
They could be like me, where all your dice is on the floor.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, really, really ambitious.
Yeah, no, I just dice. I don't
because he
really-
poured all his dice on the floor, mind you.
Yeah,
He did it on purpose.
yeah. I know what I've done, and I've picked it.
Austin really has no regrets.
I respect it.
I will make sure to help him put out the fire. Seeing as this creature is almost dead, and I don't really think I can do much help more than I've already done.
Alfred, seeing as you're confident that Asari and Avaven can take the remaining ooze down, you just hop out of the rubble and start helping Ollie and the detective recover from the blast. The ooze. Does it recover its acid spray?
No,
It does not. Does it recover its steam burst?
no.
It does not. It is going to lash out.
How have I gotten this right every time?
Well, I'm assuming it's a 1 to 6, right?
Yeah, it's I have to roll a 5 or a 6 on them both, and I have not done that. It's going to lash out with its pseudopods at Asari.
Oh, didn't.
Both
Yep.
hit.
I still finished this beast.
Asari, your armor is magical, so you don't have to worry about it eating your armor, but you do have to worry about it eating you.
I mean, I'm a big dragon, so he can try.
Oh, he probably wouldn't tell me on the
Grab
jump.
that, grab that.
Well, you just saw it. The other one get destroyed by it with not that much.
How much damage was that?
30?
You take 35 bludgeoning damage, and and 37 acid damage.
Yeah, I'm down.
Alfred, you see Asari slammed into by one pseudopod, and then the other forces its way up her head and back and forces her to the ground as the ooze begins to consume and attempt to eat the draconic sorcerer.
Yes, but
Seeming
then
to consider her viable prey.
I'm guessing.
Sorry gets up.
Yep, Asari, because of Death Ward, you are still conscious at 1 health.
Oh, yay! Thank you!
If you go down fighting a slime, does it basically like absorb you and you'll take damage every turn?
Yeah, depending on the slime, yes.
Which, if I remember correctly, if you take damage while you're down, it's an instant failed roll, right?
Yep. Alright. That is the end of the ooze's turn.
Slimes are probably mixed slimes kind of dangerous. You know, if you go down, you're gonna fail your saves if it gets you.
Yep. Avaben, you're up. Asari on deck.
Do I have any more dice on the floor? I don't know how many dice in total I have.
Anyway, let's finish this. Kill him.
Yeah, it's almost down. Avaben, you're up.
Okay, since it has elected not to chase me, I get to attack again.
Yep, and now that someone's within melee range of it and conscious, you get sneak attack.
You know what's funny though? The Hail of Thorns is actually more damage than the sneak attack.
Yeah, given the level distribution, I'm not surprised.
Well, yeah.
Plus, to be fair, sneak attack is basically infinite, whereas you can only do so many Hail of Thorns in a day.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's like the thing is like if I can do sneak attack, that probably means I can't safely do Hail of Thorns.
True.
Well,
Anyways, what you gonna do?
All right, we're gonna shoot this boy.
All right, roll to hit.
The first roll is gonna be a 19.
All right, you can go ahead and roll damage if you want, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's genuinely impossible for you to roll low enough to not kill it.
well, yeah, with all the stuff you can roll.
Well, let's see. Let's do the
I was
math.
gonna say for fun, go ahead, just like.
And let's see. The lowest I can roll on the damage attack itself would be if I rolled 2 1s on the 2 d10s, which would be 2 plus 7, which is 9. Then the lowest I could roll on sneak attack, if I rolled 2 1s, would be 2 additional damage, so 11.
Okay.
And then the lowest I could roll on Colossus Slayer would be 1, so the lowest damage I can deal is 12.
Okay, so if you roll a 1 every time, it will survive.
Does it
but
have
if you...
13 health?
Yes. So go ahead and just roll until you don't roll a 1, and then we'll call it.
Immediately rolls a 2. Exactly a 2.
Okay, where's my damage? Let's see, if these 2 d10s are a 1... Okay, it's going to be dead.
Alright, do you want to finish the damage, or just call it here?
Let's finish the damage just to see, like,
Yeah, for
how dead it is.
Yeah, see how you
So,
must be
fine.
double dead!
Let's see, 5 plus 7 is 12. And then we're gonna do 2 for the sneak attack. I almost rolled minimum on sneak attack. So that'll add an additional 4.
Okay, it's at
And-
-3.
And then I add a d8. Which adds an additional 3, so I did 19 damage. Not my best damage.
Hey, it's at -6 health. Avaben, how do you want to do this?
BM's choice.
Okay. Avaben, as the creature wrestles with the draconic Asari, you see Alfred tending to Ollie, who you see is thankfully fine, and you glare at this creature who has now almost gotten both of your loved ones killed. Level your pistol and fire. And Asari, you hear the gunshot, you feel the creature that's wrestling you to the ground and digesting you twitch, and the tar suddenly goes cold. And the creature begins to slough off of you in sloppy pieces.
Does it
As
just
the
fall
slime-
into a puddle?
Yes, as the slime loses its ability to retain its solid shape and melts into a pile of tar and the rubbling remains of the Tietian Express's boiler. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
I just realized there's like an inherent advantage to a player when it comes to your hit points. If a player goes to 0, they get to make death saves.
Mm-hmm.
But if an enemy goes to 0, they just die
Yeah,
unless the
usually
character specifies.
Mm-hmm. That being said, that is where we're ending it for tonight.
Like, it just hit me randomly.
Check out our website at officiald5hub.info. Check out our link in chat to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly. Support our episodes posted on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, and the iHeart Podcast Network, wherever you happen to get them from. For our audio listeners, catch us live on Mondays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/Odd Tornado Productions. Check out Odd Tornado Productions Official on Tumblr to find links to our other works, including our beloved Paladins Twitch channel at twitch.tv/AustinFreak123. If you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon at that link to be posted in chat, on Ko-fi at kofi.com/oddtornadoproductions, and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/tornadoodd. The TNO are capitalized to get immediate updates whenever we go live, as well as updates on everything else we're working on. And if you want to see more of this party, plus or minus a few, tune in tomorrow, 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time, for our Tuesday game, Black Ink and Blue Blood, featuring a party of politicians and nobles trying to unravel political conspiracy if they can stop stabbing each other in the back long enough.
And now waging actual war.
Yep. Thanks, everyone at the table, so much for playing. Thanks, everyone at home, so much for watching. And we'll see you all next week.